White House responds to DOJ infighting over Epstein files. Y'all haven't heard, there's been some whispers, there's been some talks of Dan Bongino maybe resigning as deputy of the FBI because of the whole Epstein fiasco, how it seems like the Trump administration did a total 180 when it comes to releasing information on Epstein and his blackmail list or client list or whatever you want to call it. Y'all know how I feel about it. I'm very, very disappointed on this. I was expecting transparency, and they've been everything but that when it comes to Epstein. I believe they're protecting Epstein ties to Israel, to Mossad. Because, you know, if anything, if we, God forbid, we criticize Israel on anything, you would be called all types of names. You know, the names they call people for criticizing Israel. But all the information, all the evidence is stacked that basically shows that he was a intel. He was working for some type of intel. It more than likely was Mossad. It could be the Mossad and the CIA, but we really don't know because they're not telling us. They're not giving us this information. But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna hear what the White House has to say about the infighting. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from PJ Media, and they report that on Friday, we learned that FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino is reportedly so fed up with Attorney General Pam Bondi's handling of the Epstein case that he is threatening to resign. Friday evening, the White House found itself forced to address the clash. A statement from the White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Harrison Fields attempted to project unity, insisting, quote, President Trump has assembled a highly qualified and experienced law and order team dedicated to protecting Americans, holding criminals accountable, and delivering justice to victims. This work is being carried out seamlessly with unity. Any attempt to sow division within this team is baseless and distracts from the real progress being made in restoring public safety and pursuing justice for all. But the reality behind the scenes tells a different story. The drama broke into the open when it was reported that, according to a source close to Bongino, quote, it's either him or Pam Bondi, and that he won't stay at the FBI if she stays at DOJ. Bongino's frustration is palpable, particularly after the DOJ declared the Epstein case closed, ruling Epstein's death a suicide and refusing to provide further details. Sources say Bongino is demanding more documents be unsealed, a stance that has put him at odds with Bondi and others at the DOJ. The discontent doesn't stop with Bongino. FBI Director Kash Patel is also reportedly dissatisfied with Bondi's leadership, with sources indicating he would consider stepping down if Bongino leaves. The frustration centers on Bondi's reluctance to release certain documents and her handling of the Epstein file, which many inside the administration see as evasive and lacking transparency. I mean, that's exactly what it is. Olohan further revealed that Deputy Attorney General General Blanche, Patel, and Bongino were all involved in drafting the recently released Epstein memo, working through the July 4th weekend. After edits and a final review, Patel and Bongino signed off on the strategy, with Patel declaring the memo good with FBI. Yet this supposed consensus has not quelled the internal unrest. The skepticism about Bondi's future is growing louder. Megyn Kelly on her podcast dissected Bondi's shifting statements about the Epstein files, and y'all know I've covered that as well. Kelly noted Bondi's repeated claim that the client list was on her desk, only to later backtrack and deflect blame into the FBI for holding documents. Bondi's promise of a major information dump fizzled, culminating in a bizarre White House event where she handed out binders marked Epstein's files to loyal Trump supporters, binders that contain nothing new or substantive, just previously released public information. She believes that Bondi's days are numbered. Now, and mind you, on the binder, it says phase 1. But now the FBI saying, nope, case closed, no more releases, nothing else. So why would they call it phase 1 if originally they didn't intend on releasing more information? It makes no sense. But she said, quote, I'm sorry, struggle reading today, y'all. She said, quote, so she's either lazy or incompetent, or she's willingly humiliated some of the president's most loyal supporters. Neither one of those is good, Kelly said. And that's why I'm sorry, but I'm going to predict her days are numbered as a member of the Trump administration. You know, Trump, he's not dumb, but I don't think Trump created this. The Bondi-Bongino clash is quickly becoming a major distraction right when the Trump administration should be projecting strength and unity. What the American people deserve is full transparency about Epstein, what really happened, and who's actually going to be held accountable. Instead, we're getting finger-pointing, conflicting narratives, and a Justice Department that seems more focused on PR than justice. So, let's be honest, the administration's law and order reputation is only as strong as the team behind it. And right now, that team looks as if it's cracking under pressure. Wow. Again, I've been knowing about this whole Epstein thing for a very, very long time, for over a decade, I believe. Yeah, at least a decade I've been covering this whole Epstein stuff. And I was very excited initially when they questioned Trump about releasing information pertaining to Epstein. I was excited. I was ecstatic. I really thought people were going to be held accountable. And I'm very, very disappointed, very upset and frustrated that nothing has happened. And I believe it's because they are protecting Mossad. They are protecting Israel, which is ridiculous on the face of it, because a lot of these children suffered under this. Over 1,000 young girls were sexually abused, and no one is being held accountable for it. It's just ridiculous, and I'm very frustrated and upset by this because y'all know my profession. I'm a therapist. I work with tons of people that's gone through trauma like this, and one thing to help people deal with trauma is when people that done these things been held accountable. And so a lot of these people who has absolutely no closure, and it's not right. It's not fair to them. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.